Russia. Even the name is stolen. The Finnish people remember. They don't call their unfriendly neighbor to the east Russia. They call it Venäjä, after the people who lived on that land. The Finns saved the idea Rus for the Swede, whose country they call Ruotsi, meaning rowers.
Rowing was a bad choice.
The Rus, or rowers, came from what is now Sweden and traveled south in longships, founding the city of Kiev. More than 1,000 years ago and centuries before Moscow was founded, the Kievan Rus built a thriving culture with one of the earliest legal codes and landmarks like St. Sophia Cathedral, which still stands today. But in the 13th century, the Mongols sacked Kiev, and over time, the upstart Duchy of Muscovy in alliance with the Mongols grew, trying to claim the Rus legacy from the Far East. Moscow even called its rulers czars, after the Caesars, and took the Rus for themselves. With their new name, Russian, they oppressed free people first as czars, then as communists, and now as Putinists. But the Finns remember the truth. And now, as Moscow tries to control Kiev once again, Ukrainians, who kept alive ancient Rus traditions of freedom, resist and grow stronger. In Ukraine's coastal Bessarabian region, vineyards producing earthy wine and fields of sunflowers roll toward the Black Sea at the mouth of the Dniester River. This fertile land cradles the secrets of ancient Greek and Indo-European civilizations. Bilhorod, Dnistrovsky, a Ukrainian port city, is built on the ruins of the Tiras colony of ancient Greece, founded in the 6th century BC. But even before that, the area was home to the Thracians and the Cimmerians, whose enigmatic culture once dominated the Black Sea coast. The ancient city's strategic location at the mouth of the Dniester River made it a crossroads for traders, conquerors, and settlers from Scythians to Romans. Tiras thrived as a vital hub in the ancient trade networks, linking Greece with the rich interior lands of Eastern Europe. The Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Ottomans, Romanians, Kremlin communists, and now free people each left behind their mark in ruins, fortresses, and legend. In 2022, Russia tried to sever this port from the world. Yet, Ukraine's sea drone counteroffensive has kept trade routes in the Black Sea open, even as rockets and drones from Moscow continue to rain down.
You cannot reason with a tiger when your head is in its mouth!
Armageddon for Ukrainians almost happened in 2022. Kiev almost fell. But look how the tide has turned. Don't you believe that a well-armed freedom can stop tyranny? Ukraine's critics, like RFK Jr. and Donald Trump Jr., say, negotiate with Russia. Each escalation, from HIMARS to F-16s, brings us closer to Armageddon, they claim. But what have these so-called escalations really achieved? HIMARS strikes made Kharkiv safer. Russian forces were pushed back. Ukraine now ships as much grain as before Russia's invasion, thanks to fighting back, not UN deals. Kiev didn't fall. Well-armed freedom is stopping tyranny. Ukrainian drones destroyed one of Russia's largest weapons depots. Every tool Ukraine gets weakens Russia. By refusing to help, you don't avoid Armageddon, you invite it. Ukrainians fought off that threat in 2022, and every tool they receive pushes it further away. Away from them, away from you. In both Irish and Ukrainian folklore, one name echoes across time, Danu. For centuries, three great rivers have shaped the heart of Eastern Europe and Ukraine: the Danube, the Dniester, and the Dnipro. Their names all trace back to an ancient word, Danu, meaning river or flowing water in the Scythian languages. In Celtic mythology, Danu is the name of a mother goddess, the Tua de Danann, the tribe place of the goddess Danu. They were supernatural beings believed to have come from across the sea to Ireland, carrying her power with them. Danu's exact origin remains a mystery, but it's thought to come from an Indo-European word meaning to flow. The most famous river bearing this ancient name is the Danube. From Germany's Black Forest, it flows through 10 countries before reaching the Black Sea in the delta between Romania and Ukraine. Here, as we stand at the Ukrainian port city of Izmail, gazing across to Romania, a land not invaded by its neighbors, we listen to an ancient Ukrainian song about the banks of the Danube, sung by American in Kyiv, Benya Stewart. Tolerant but traditional, awake but not woke, armed but not violent to each other, free but not chaotic, innovative but grounded, alive but slowly being erased, and holding on while battling the twin towers of Eastern tyranny and Western corruption.
As long as it takes.
Timeless tradition, unshakable freedom, resilient people, Ukraine. Should Trump have de-escalated after surviving 2 assassination attempts?
You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Should those fighting for justice have surrendered after Robert F. Kennedy was killed?
That's right.
RFK Jr. and Donald Trump Jr. say Ukraine should surrender to Moscow. They call it de-escalation. But Ukrainians stand on principles too. They fight for freedom, even after Washington took away their weapons as a penalty for refusing to join Moscow.
I got them to agree to give up their nuclear weapons.
There are going to be consequences.
As long as it takes.
Even if you don't want to help, can't you at least admit that Ukrainians, not the elites but the people, are just like you?
Thanks to the support of the American people.
Holding on to their freedom in the face of hellfire? So how is Russia saving you from Blackrock? By bombing Ukrainian parks, hospitals, homes, and families. By attacking a country where more people go to church than in Russia. Russia is clearing the way for Blackrock to seize assets from Europe's most traditional nation, with Washington offering just enough weapons to survive, but not enough to win. Notably, Blackrock and others pledged support for rebuilding, but never for winning.
As long as it takes.
Ukrainians remember the nightmare of communism. They hate socialism and communism more than you do. They loathe oligarchs and despise corporatism.
Ukraine.
BBC, Reuters,
Ukraine,
and the New York Times won't tell you this. Ukrainians aren't woke.
You know, we have to stay woke.
They speak freely. And unlike Russia, they're tolerant. Their cities are safe and clean until Moscow's missiles arrive. While Ukrainians bleed for freedom, you're still just talking.
Stand with Ukraine.
And Blackrock is smiling.
Because all we care about is getting fucking rich.
Who's standing up to Blackrock, Trump, and Biden? Both are letting Blackrock erase the freest country in Europe. Biden won't let Ukraine win. Every time Ukraine makes progress, Biden hits the brakes.
Oh, he doesn't need F-16s now.
Meanwhile, Trump's team, in reflex opposition to Biden, ignores the fact that Ukraine is the Texas of Europe. So how is Russia saving you from Blackrock? By bombing Ukrainian parks, hospitals, homes, and families. By attacking a country where more people go to church than in Russia.
Slava Ukraini! God bless America! We want to thank the people who listen to Joe Lindsley's Ukrainian broadcast on Chicago WGN Radio. You can listen to these reports every day at ukrainianfreedomnews.com. And special thanks to Mr. Peter Jorgensen.
Before we continue, we invite you to follow our channel, the only American show reporting live from Ukraine every day.